Hey students, Mr. Passery here. Unfortunately, my lovable baby daughter has a fever, which means I have to stay home and take care of her today. But don't worry, I've got you covered for day 2 of our introductory discussions on how to function in the junior high. We're going to talk about the best ways to discuss the topics that we're going to be tackling in social studies class. Hey students, Mr. Passery here. Today we are going to do day 2 of our introductory lessons for the first 2 days of school, looking at the big picture. Yesterday we talked about basically how to navigate the school, how to navigate the parking lot, where to go in case of a fire drill or a lockdown drill or a hold-in-place drill. Today, these are just going to be some general tips for how to conduct yourselves in conversation in social studies class and in other classes. You know, when you're listening to a teacher, when you're working with classmates, and when you're talking and expressing your own points of view, these are some helpful ways to be respectful to the people who are teaching the classes, to your elbow buddy classmates, and to make yourself sound intelligent and humble, and to be intelligent and humble when you're talking. So don't think that just because you say it, it's true. Make sure that you're backing up what you're saying with some evidence, and also be humble enough to realize that even though you think you might be right, you could be wrong, and there could be things that you might be part right on and part wrong on. So, just be aware to own what you're saying, and be willing to grow from what you're saying. Take it as a learning experience, whether it's a good thing or a challenge. So these are some things to do when you are listening or doing independent work, right? So say me or another co-teacher or a guest speaker or a classmate is talking. These are some of the things that you can do to be respectful and to grow as a student, right? Be an active listener, do your work on time, stay focused, show self-control, follow directions if you're asked to do something, be respectful with how you're using technology. If someone's in front of the classroom talking, it's probably not a good idea to start punching your Chromebook screen because you died at a video game, or start snapping selfies on your cell phone. That would probably be distracting, and the person in the front of the classroom would probably find you to be rude, and that wouldn't be fun for anyone. And raise your hands, right? Ask questions, be appropriate with your voice level, don't be screaming like lunatics, and obviously use respectful language that will be helpful in having you ask questions or have points clarified. Obviously you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. What does that mean? Well, if you're nice and respectful, that will help the person give you an answer that is more empathetic and enthusiastic. If you act like a jerk, someone might end up getting distracted and be a little mad at you. And I'm not saying that that's right. I'm just saying that could happen. So, just be respectful to the people who are in the front of the classroom, and, there you'll probably get better results. So anywho, when you're working in a group, make sure that you are respectful of your elbow buddies. Make sure you have your materials. If you're doing a group project, pull your weight. Don't just let someone else do all the work and then try to take credit for it. If the work is divided up, make sure you're doing your part. Stay focused on the task. Work hard to create a good quality for your section of the project. And again, use the technology in a way that's not hurting your grade or your classmates. It's helping them. All students, participate. Respect other group members' ideas. We live in a time where, and every time, people disagree on things like politics, on culture, on sports teams, on video games and cell phones. I mean, whatever it is, You don't have to agree with people, but you do have to respect people. So treat other people the way that you'd want to be treated. You don't have to agree with them. Try to see where they're coming from. You think they're wrong, cool, but learn how to coexist. And maybe even if you disagree with someone, they might, in some element of their what you consider to be a wrong idea, have a right ingredient in there that you can add to your own ideas to make them better. And if someone in your group is really just going crazy, talk to an adult, and the teachers in the room will help you. Here's some helpful ways of thinking and talking. You could say that, I see your point, but say you have a rough day and you want to make things better the next day. Today's a new day, and here's a fresh start. I made a mistake, but I can make it better. Say someone up front or in your group is talking and they're like, oh, hey, that reminds me of this, and you can relate something to the topic and add to it. You could say something like, I agree with you because this, or I have a question about that. I used to think this, but now I see this. I hear what you're saying. Can you please show me what you're talking about? I respectfully disagree, or I'd like to add something to that. These are all ways of thinking that lend your brain to, getting the best results from yourself and other people, right? Because you're being respectful, you're encouraging them to make the best version of their argument, you're encouraging yourself to make the best version of your argument, and together you can have a good situation where you're both sharing ideas that can make each other stronger. Again, these are just kind of two different ways that information can flow. They both work based on the situation that is required for different types of learning. Sometimes the teacher will be up front and toss you the ball. Sometimes the teacher will toss you the ball, and then you'll toss the ball to each other. What's the ball? The ball are the ideas of the lesson, right? So, yeah. In this class, it won't be unusual for me or one of my co-teachers to get you started with some, ideas or content, and then, we kind of shift to some group work and then reconvene and see what you come up with. Excuse me, I just yawned. All right. And a good classroom looks a little something like this, where people can state their ideas and agree or disagree, listen to each other, support their claims with evidence. That's a biggie. Don't just say, I think this, and that's true. Say, I think this because I saw this or read this, and therefore that's why I think it's true. And if your evidence is strong and credible, it will help your claim. If it is weak, it will not really help your claim. So you want to back up your claims with evidence, and always be willing to ask questions, and don't be closed-minded. That doesn't mean that you should just blindly agree with anytime anyone says something forcefully. Know what you believe and why you believe it, but understand that you're not perfect in your thinking, and maybe someone is seeing something in your thinking that you don't see, much like a coach who might see you making a mistake and point it out. You don't have to change the whole way that you do things, but maybe you're making a mistake somewhere, and it'll help you address the mistake if you have an open mind. All right, guys. So these are some, in my opinion, helpful suggestions on how to do your best as a student. And I hope you enjoyed these. And we're going to do some work in Google Classroom right now, checking out some getting to know you surveys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.